Here we go.
Gamers, welcome back to the shop here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. So there's been a project I've been wanting to do in the back of my mind for the past week or so. I keep thinking of it and just hadn't had time. So thought I'd record a video this morning and take you guys along for the ride. So first thing I'd like is for you guys to tell me in the comments, should we go ahead and sell the Mustang? I think I showed this in the review video on the drag strip. It's pretty awesome. But we can make about 100K on it. Don't really need the money, but also don't really need the car. You'll understand that here in just a second when I show you what the project is for today. So this probably will turn into a little bit of a series. It does take a while to fully restore a vehicle, so I don't think I'll get it all done in one video. So this may turn into, 2, maybe 3, 4 kind of thing. But let me know in the comments again, should we sell this guy? For some, more money to buy something else? Let me know what you think. Pretty nice. Beefed up the engine a little bit. If you'd like to see it on the drag strip, I do believe I tested it out in the review video, so you can go check that out. If you are liking these car mechanic simulator videos, definitely let me know by throwing a like on there. If you haven't already, give me a sub. We've been sitting at about 1,100 and change for a minute now. So if you want to make my day, please feel free to like and sub to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into today's project. So I've been sitting on this thing for quite a while. It's a barn find. Just hadn't had a chance to mess with it just yet. So this is a Skyline. I do believe it is one of the modded cars. Again, one of the greatest things about this game is the mod community. They have just added so many different cars to the game. Just keeps me coming back because you never know what you'll find, in the junkyard or out in the barns, which I do actually have. Oh, I clicked on the car. There we go. I do actually have one. I didn't realize it. It was in my inventory. I spotted it when I first launched the game. So depending on how long it takes to do the first part of our restoration, we may do that today or in the next video. So stay tuned for that. See what we can find out in the barn. So again, with this Skyline, the way I wanted to approach this is if you haven't played the game yet, give you some tips on how to make sure you get the most experience so you can level your guy up, get the wrench turning faster, all that kind of fun stuff. Just while I'm mentioning it, because your character does level up and has various things, price, discounts, how quickly you take bolts off, stuff like that. So you definitely do want to make sure that you're maximizing your HP early on in the game. So XP, sorry. Maybe I need another cup of coffee. Good thing I got one sitting right here. So one of the first things that you want to do, make sure I'm in the beginning. Okay, there we go. So when you come into, like, say you're going to work on the car, when you first get one in the early game, you're going to just be making repairs to customers' cars, trying to save up enough money to do like full restoration, stuff like this. So again, to get the most experience, always make sure that you come into your additional tools option, which you'll get when you actually go into the assembly mode, and run all of these little checks. It takes a couple of minutes, but as you'll notice here in just a second, you do definitely get a lot of experience from it. So I've already run the tread tester just to see if I'd already done this, because I couldn't remember if I did on the Skyline. And I know you're saying, Naxit, car's missing all sorts of parts and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. It'll tell you if it's not capable of running the test. But let's just see if we can do a fuel pressure. Nope, can't start the engine, so we won't be able to do that one. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let me just click the same one. Will the OBS reader read for us? Looks like it. So if you'll notice in the top right, the XP, you get 1 XP every time one of these tools examines a part. So as you can see, decent amount of experience there. You get 1 XP for each one of these readings. So early game makes a huge difference. Let's see what else we can run. Probably can't do the compression. Yeah. What about, can we get a multimeter going? Yeah. So we'll run this real quick, again, just for a little bit of XP. Like in the very early game, you'll get simple stuff like oil changes. I'd still recommend running all of these checks. Doesn't really do a whole lot for you, you know, for the customer's sake, but a decent amount of experience, and it does really add up. So very early game, don't forget to run those checks. So first thing that we're going to do with this car is we're actually going to start taking stuff off. I always start with the body. These modded cars can be kind of interesting with extra car pieces. You'll just want to make sure you grab them all. Sometimes there's front fender pieces or something along the top or bottom that you got to make sure that you get. Any glass, definitely go ahead and take that off. You can't repair the glass, so might as well just get new ones. You can repair a lot of parts, but the glass is not one of them. So I did notice that there's a TV back here too. In the review, I did notice the one over here, but apparently we got one in the trunk. So it doesn't look like any of that comes out. Cool. I think we pretty much got everything. Interesting. Well, this thing is in bad shape. All right. So one other thing that we'll do is we'll grab this guy. And we will give the interior detailing real quick. Gauges and stuff look better already. Excellent. Put that back. And then we'll grab the welder. Go ahead and get the body as good a shape as possible. And then we'll go ahead and put that back. Now, one thing I do always forget to do, and that is drain the oil. As soon as you go to like take the motor out, you'll make a mess. Yep, there was some in there. Okay, cool. And then you have to pay to clean it up. So that's why it's pretty good to get a routine. We'll get the engine cover off there. Interesting. Now, if we wanted to, I'm trying to remember if you get experience for doing this. Let's check real quick. Does not appear so. Okay. So nothing in there. What about in the brake booster? We got any juice in here? A little bit. Alright. Cool. So get the basics taken care of so we don't have to pay to clean up anything. That should work. Alright. Next thing that we're going to want to do, and next it's procedure of OCD-ness. Okay, let's go ahead and get the tires off here. Probably not going to use these rims. Wouldn't be a custom, like a full customization if we use the stock. And I'm trying to remember if we actually have all 4 tires. We'll see here in a second. Now you'll notice these orange ones. You got to hit that with the juice. Loosen those bad boys up. No, we actually do have all 4 rims. So we'll see if we can salvage all of them. Even though you can pull all 4 off, you may not be able to repair all 4 to be usable. So we'll check that here in a second. If you notice how quickly I can get these things unbolted, that's that leveling up. I think that's the first thing that I maxed out, because of course you do spend the majority of your time taking things off and bolting them back on. You do get an experience point each time you do that, taking a bolt off and back on. So Ooh. These are in bad shape, but we'll see. We'll see if we can fix them. Yeah, basically, you get 1 point for pretty much everything you do. So... get these old ones off there. Now, chances are I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this whole restoration in one video. So let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Should we do the full restoration, use the same rims, or should we get new ones? All right, so that's done. So I think the first thing we're going to do for the first video is we're going to rip all the suspension out. Second video will probably be the engine work, just depending on how long this takes. Never done this particular one before, but it looks pretty standard, so well, that looks good. All right. Not wanting to let me have that yet. Interesting. We are in disassembly mode, but it's not. Okay, maybe we weren't. Oh well. Might as well start here. We're just going to rip all this stuff off real quick. Now again, the thing that I do like about these kind of games, especially when you first start playing them, because I know a little bit about cars, but not a ton. I've actually learned a lot from this game. But the whole, if you're trying to take something off and it's not like, oh, you got to do this part first, it'll actually tell you, you know, what you need to take off before you can get to that particular piece. So after, you know, you'll do a few vehicles, do a couple of brake jobs and stuff for the customers, and before you know it, you won't really need that system anymore. You'll just kind of already know, oh, this one has this kind of suspension in the back, so we're gonna have to do these first, and this, that, and the other first, and oh, time for the tie rods. Like, it, surprisingly quickly, you will learn everything you need to know. And then again, if you forget, it's going to tell you, hey, got to take this bushing out before you can get to the arm, all that kind of fun stuff. And even when you break down the motor, same way. Like, I've done so many different motors, and you know, a lot of them are similar, just little different pieces here and there. So you'll be surprised what all you can pick up from these style of games. I actually, and this one, 2021. And I played, I think it was 2018 before. Just always come back to it. Like, got up this morning, it was like 80 degrees yesterday, it's 40 degrees today. I'm just not really wanting to do anything today. That's what happens when it gets cold in Texas. We hibernate, basically. So, I was already up late. It's not going to let me be sneaky and get that there. There it is. There we go. Was already up pretty late playing Call of Duty, which must apologize for. That's really the reason for the lack of content here recently. Just didn't really seem like anybody was interested in the Call of Duty videos, even though me and DQ actually have a pretty interesting time in the Warzone maps. So I was thinking about recording our escapades in Warzone. Multiplayer though, like, I get most people are burnt out. Most people haven't taken a 15-year break from the Call of Duty series like I have, so I totally get that. But I think me and D, good old DQ Dipcone, we play enough Warzone that I could probably get some interesting moments videos out of those gaming sessions. So Let me know in the comments if you're just absolutely totally against that, or if that's something you'd be willing to check out at least once. And then let me know what you think. Let's see, I think I got everything from both sides. Excellent. All right. Oh, thought I clicked on it. So now the one thing I'm sure will get on your nerves when you're first learning the assembly and disassembly of all these suspensions and stuff will be the bushings. You'll get a car completely back together and try to send it back to the customer, and it's going to be like, yeah, you're missing 2 bushings. Now, the thing I love about this game, though, is there is a checklist. You can actually go to the puzzle piece screen in the car details, and it will list every single piece of the car, the status of it, you know, if it's there or not, all that fun stuff. All right, so we'll go ahead and get the battery out while we're in here. So it's got those interesting fuel tanks, okay. So we can start breaking down the muffler system. And then, see something at the end? Oh, I missed one. Ah, the pump. That's why it wouldn't come out. See? Very, very user-friendly. They did a really stellar job on this game, I think. So let's start taking the front brakes off. Yep, there we go. I always forget about that bearing, and I'd get to a place where I just couldn't take anything off, and I'm like, what's the deal? So I always go for it right off the bat. Alright, so get our out of there, shocks out of here, give it some juice. Alright. Yeah, the click, like if you're moving from one section to another, like say tire to tire, you can just click where you need to go, like the piece that you want to work on, and the camera does a pretty good job of taking you right there. Like, there's a little bit of a learning curve to get the movement system down, but before you know it, you'll just be ripping these things apart like nothing. And I'm pretty sure this isn't like 1-to-1, of course, with like real cars. But it does do a really good job of teaching you like the basics of what's going on. I'm sure, you know, I know just taking brake pads off and stuff is much harder than, oh, let me just pop 2 bolts off. Let me just remove that. Nah, there's more to it. I've watched enough Vice Grip Garage to know that for sure. Always touch the brake pedal last. Oh, it's spraying from the other side. I was going to say, where's my can? Alright. Now, as far as like doing like a cool engine swapper or something, I think... I'm trying to remember, but I think this particular car doesn't have that option, but we can check. That's another thing I love about this game. Like, before you ever buy a car, you'll be able to tell, you know, like what engine swaps are available for you. I think I just bought this because it was a Skyline. I didn't care about the engine swaps. But like I asked in the beginning about selling the Mustang, basically, you know, the Skyline would replace the Mustang as our drag strip car, so to speak. Let's see, anything else? Not gonna let me have the gearbox because of the starter. Go ahead and get the starter out of here. Yeah, if only taking a transmission out was that easy. That's definitely me, not you. Sorry. My phone never rings unless I'm recording. I promise. Actually, why don't you just, mute your phone? Because nobody ever calls me until I hit record. I'm sure you guys know how it is. Alright, so now that we've got everything out of the car, except for, the motor, which we can take out here in just a moment. Everything else, I think we need to lower the car to be able to get to. Won't let me have any of this stuff. Alright. So, with that in mind, let's check. Let's see. Trying to remember where. Oh, there it was. So, see here under swap options, there's nothing listed. So, when you're first looking at a car, you can actually see there'll be other ones that'll be listed down here. You're like, oh, okay, I'll swap it out for this, that, or the other. But again, because I believe, yeah, this is a modded car. So not going to let us do that on this particular car. Now, we only bought this thing for, say, $12,000. Now that we've ripped everything out of it, it's only worth about $9,000. But we're gonna fix that quickly. One thing I did want to show you guys real quick is the... Nope. Getting ahead of myself. Let me grab the old... Yeah, it's in the corner. I forget sometimes. I do want to at least get this part done. Alright. So now it's out of the car. I guess I did forget something. So we're going to go ahead and pull everything out. So we got a blank slate here. See? Still missed one. Oh well. It happens. So we'll get our fuses out. We'll get fresh fuses, all that kind of fun stuff. That way we got everything ready. Oh. Brakes out. The ECU's got to go. We get a new one of those. So at this point, nope. I always forget the ABS. And our pump. There we go. So completely. You didn't see that. Ready to go. So we've got everything taken off the car. So as far as the repair process goes, you've got parts, and then you've got body work. System works the same. Got a little mini game on this version to play. Okay, so the only thing that we were able to repair out of all the stuff we took off was one of the fenders. So again, you'll do the... Oh no. Alright. Well, I guess that answers our question on the rims. Only one of the rims was salvageable. And I'm not going to say... This part takes a minute. I've got 3 pages of this mini game to go through. And it honestly doesn't look like we salvaged much of anything off that Skyline. It was in bad shape. So, again, I'll do all the this stuff off camera. Not going to make you guys watch that. But if you do want to see more of the Skyline restoration, basically part 2 will be the teardown of the engine, which we'll do right here. I believe it was this one. Pretty sure. I'll double check that. Looks like it. Just absolutely horrible. So yeah, part 2, we'll take this apart and start on the rebuild. If you join me for the second episode and leave a like on this episode, I will definitely start the next one out with the barn expedition. So we'll go see if we can't find something interesting in the barn. Again, let me know in the comments if we should sell the Mustang to have some more money for, more Skylines, more I do have an Indy car, an F1 car, I believe, in the garage. That's going to need a lot of work, so might need some money for that. So again, let me know in the comments what you think. Sell the Mustang, keep the Mustang. What color should we paint the Skyline? Let me know what you guys think. But stay tuned for the next one when we tear down the engine, and we will go sniffing around a barn, see if we can't find something interesting there. So stay tuned for that. But as always, see you in the next one. Max it out.